wanna do a podcast? We make a darn good team. It always goes without a hitch. Let's head to Twitch and go start up the stream. Do you wanna do a podcast? It's the Nerd Glasses Podcast. Let's start now. Hi everyone and welcome to the Nerd Glasses Podcast.
Come? Alright, I'll do my own bit for myself.
Oh wait, no silence.
We're doing it. Get off the road.
With the microphone, so give us 1 minute, please. Please. Okay. What? We are aware that there is no sound.
There is sound.
We know. Oh, okay. There is sound now.
How long do you think it's going to take Steve to do
this? I don't know. I'm just verbally until I'm told that I can go ahead with the joke.
I'm also very excited that we have someone in the live studio audience here for the first time in a while for the Nerd Glasses.
Yes, Nerd Glasses is broadcast in front of a live studio audience, so we get an extra groan when I say, "Hey, Dave."
Yes, voter.
What do you call a Lego divorce attorney?
This had better not be a Better Call Saul joke because I'm really sad that show's over. But what do you call a Lego divorce attorney?
A brick separator.
Ha! Yes. Again, voter's been really on fire with these jokes these last couple weeks. It's been good times.
Welcome everyone to the Nerd Glasses Podcast, now coming to you with sound. I'm Boater.
I'm Dave Mann.
And we are going to start off, as always, with a Twitch ban. And we are starting with a VTuber going by Shy Lily. Shy Lily is a VTuber who has around 700,000 followers. And she debuted a new avatar in July. Everyone was very excited for it. It is, based in kind of anime looks, is very endowed. The avatar was wearing a bikini during the reveal stream. Yay! And apparently that was too much for Twitch. Twitch hasn't specified what issue they took with it to earn Shy Lily a 3-day ban, but Lily responded on Twitter, "My tits too big?" Who knows? Apparently. So it sucks that Twitch isn't transparent about it. In looking this up, there wasn't any the creator says they don't know, but people are saying that it was this. No, there was none of that. It's just maybe the bikini outfit was too revealing for the VTuber, which I do like that they hold to the same standard as live action people, but we also know that that's applied very inconsistently.
It can also be with things around that community and culture. Mm-hmm. I will also notice they're a little bit loosey-goosier with the what you're allowing in chat and things like that, and especially for people that get large numbers and things like that. There is a certain standard you have to be able to carry in what you allow people to say or overtly imply during things. Not to say these things occurred, because me no know, me dumb and me stupid and me nobody. But can't help but notice, me see happen a lot.
Yeah. So that's who was banned in the last 7 days. That was yesterday. It's just a 3-day ban. Again, she says she wasn't told exactly what it was, but she'll be back in a couple days and still going. So that's who we've got. Dave, that's someone who had a bad day in the last 7 days.
So this is the first time one of our bans has really hit in a we couldn't find a definitive reason why we were banned in a while. If you looked at the Nerd Glasses episodes 2 years ago, there was every week there was a ban for whatever. And
there might be speculation, whatever. And to be fair, more recent ones, again, Twitch hasn't said so, but there's been just the reporting with the creator says they don't know, but the VOD is still there, and we all saw what you said.
Yeah.
So, there is pretty verifiable speculation. This one is just like, blah, 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 blah. We're banning you because we told you so. Yeah. So that's who was banned. Dave, what do we have coming out in the next 7 days?
Well, in the next 7 days, I managed to find us 3 games, one of which was very groan-worthy by Steve.
I was going to say, one of these apparently upset Steve, so I can't wait to see what the button looks like on our Stream Deck.
It didn't upset him so much as it was one of the ones we picked that I'm very worried about the fact that he's smiling about the buttons.
Because here's what happens on a Stream Deck if you're not familiar with it. It can say something both before the scene is activated and afterward. So right now...
all 3 of them are the titles
right now,
of the
all
games.
3 of them are the proper titles of the games. Then we hit the button, and it lights up, and it says something crass or whatever.
Now! Steve has never put something crass there, but he has put a lot of poop jokes.
How do you define crass?
I define crass as, especially in the case of us talking about things on broadcasting and things, something inappropriate, something that you wouldn't necessarily want to say out loud, or something we would not associate with our brand.
Okay.
Would be my thing. There's nothing Steve has put on those that we couldn't then just turn around, laugh, and say out loud.
Right, right. I mean,
except
there's
for all
of
dem
crass.
videos Steve shares, which on a side point, on a very quick side point.
Okay.
Steve the other day did in fact save a Friday of Overwatch. It was Steve of all the people that a video was suggested, and a bunch of people didn't say watch it right now, but I was like, oh, what are we talking about? And Steve was the first person to go, you can't show that on stream. Don't like, don't look at that. Don't.
Wow,
like,
that is a filter for you. If Steve says
next,
don't show that on stream.
And the next day, Steve showed Mike and I what we were talking about and referencing and things like that. And Steve, you're still banned from showing videos on stream indefinitely, but I appreciates you.
So you use the word indefinitely, usually as a synonym of definitely, as certainly, whatever. But in that case, it also meant how I usually hear the word, which is to say, without end, for an indefinite period of time, you are banned from showing videos on stream.
Specifically on DAM 314, Steve has now had 2 strikes, and I'm not willing to let him pitch one over the plate again for me to go.
Give him that
Oh no!
Strike, let it be glorious.
The cone of silence.
Okay.
So, the first game we're looking at comes out on the 18th for the Switch, the PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, and it is coming out next month for the PC. That, of course, being RPG Time, The Legend of Right. Better than OFK is what the button now reads. I'm very glad you feel that way. This particular game is titled as a handmade notebook RPG.
Okay.
A student during the school day apparently is writing these little adventures for our hero Wright to go on in the kingdom of Cardboardia.
I'm down.
I'm pretty jazzed about it. It features a lot of different mechanics and things using different, classroom materials or different materials like that, but then also including RPG elements, combat, platforming, puzzles, things
really
like that.
Cool. I love that art style as I'm looking at that.
Yes. And that was the other half of it. It very much has they advertise it like it's an after school special and this, that, and the other. And it's literally like something a student would be able to make in their free time or instead of paying attention in class. But, that's all these things. I'm...
Continue.
What?
Nothing.
I'm really just enjoying the art style and the presentation of it and everything. And I feel like this game, especially, even though it's got a very simplistic art style and seemingly a very, to borrow a gimmick, paper-thin premise, I feel like it'll truly deliver in the stacks of entertainment it will give you. Bammo. Our next one is coming out also on the 18th, and it is a very derisive game, apparently, amongst the Nerd Glasses presenters and producers. This game called We Are OFK. By the way, forgot the gimmick up front. Presented in Nerd Division. Oh no! The button just says I got nothing. So, OFK specifically the game called We Are OFK,
Okay.
is a, to quote them, music biopic game and interactive EP.
Okay.
This is supposed to introduce us to the band OFK.
Okay.
What OFK stands for, couldn't find anywhere. They haven't told us
That's
yet,
fine,
and I'm
that's
pretty
fine.
sure during the game. But OFK is a group of 5 members. Itsumi Saito, the keyboard player, Jay Zhang, the producer, Luca Lefay, the vocalist, Carter Flores, the visuals and VFX, and an adorable cat called little archetype character called Debug, the vocal VFX. I'm very interested. It is episodic, and it is coming out on the PlayStation 4, the 5, the Switch, and PC. They have one single for their group currently out called Follow, Unfollow on all sorts of platforms. Give it a listen to yourself.
I like
See this. I'm looking forward to this because if this goes well, along with the fact that our we previously discussed the game that the group Radiohead had done with this. I like the idea that music is crossing over into video games as a playable medium and presenting these albums, because, who hasn't listened to a musical score or things like that? Well, imagine if someone writes a musical where you are intended to play all the parts of all the actors and carry the action and things like that. Big fan of music games. Unfortunately, Twitch really doesn't like music games because they are licensed, and the DMCA robot is not very discerning when banning things. But I have a feeling this will be treated a little bit differently. So I'll be keeping an eye on it, and I will be having a look at it. This game, you did hear about it during one of the conventions. Steve, which one it was? One of the ones that you covered?
State of Play.
The PlayStation State of Play. They announced this. And it apparently was one of the least interesting things that Steve. What's the quote when Steve doesn't like something? What's the rating for it?
It's shit. Move on.
Yeah, it's shit, and we moved on from it.
Right.
So we are.
I'm interested in this. So it's episodic. It looks like it's doing one a week.
Yes.
So it's and it's with it coming out like that, it kind of has that TV show quality to it as well when it turns over that fast.
Yes.
I'm really interested in that. Like, I mean, I want to. Unfortunately, I can't hear this, so I can't hear what genre of music OFK plays. But going by the art, I think it's something that I'd enjoy listening to.
I'm excited for it. I'm going to give it a look as well and a peek and see. So we'll have more coverage of it coming in the near future. But the third game is a return to familiar, and yet it is one of the many, many, many beboots of a franchise that yielded money, and they've decided, let's just not continue.
Oh, right.
This coming out on the 23rd for PC, PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox One, Series X, and check the pulses, people, because it's coming out on Stadia. It is, in fact, Saints Row. This is a reboot of the franchise, and I'm not going to lie, Boater, one of the few franchise reboots that kind of needed to happen.
Yeah, because, so Saints Row started off, its first one was basically a GTA clone.
Yep.
The second one got personality. The third one, doubled down on the personality and really went big. The fourth one just, went to space, and once you go to space, you can't go anywhere. It's an adage in the biz. Once you've gone to space, there is nowhere left to go. And so rebooting this and keeping the spirit of it, but letting the stakes come back down to something more personal scale, really, really good idea. I'm generally not a fan of reboots, but this is one that is going to make a lot of sense.
Yeah, it looks like a fresh paint of coat on their franchise that's needed. It is 9 districts on a map in Nevada, a fake town run by three gangs, and you are a member of a former gang that's getting together with people who are disillusioned from their current gangs to take over the town one segment at a time. In taking them over, you'll get different abilities, different amounts of money, different businesses you'll unlock to then open different avenues for yourself to get different weapons, different vehicles, things like that available to your character. It looks like it's going to be fun. If you're a fan of the GTA style of game, you can't go wrong with this.
Yeah,
won't.
I've kind of been meaning to get into Saints Row every now and then, but this feels like it'll be mature as far as where I talk about the personality coming in without being over the top, and that's something I'll be interested in. So this might be my ticket to getting into the franchise.
Yes. Very exciting. Going to be very big. Highly recommend you check it out. And it shows the fact that it's going to be a Saints Row game. You just saw one guy get squished. The other guy stood up and gave a thumbs up. Some of the characters are wearing Mad Max-inspired costumes where other people are wearing street clothes. Like, it's definitely staying to itself.
Yeah, it's going to be over the top. It's going to do its own thing. It's not worried about consistency with the real world, just its own fiction.
Yes, and I'm really excited for it. But that's what's coming out in the next 7 days for games and trailers. Getting very excited. A lot of things going on.
Yeah. What have you been playing? What's anything new in your metaphorical disc tray?
Overwatch, a lot of Overwatch. Really have been. They did another remix event where there's a lot of skins on the line, things like that I don't yet have. And there's a couple stories about that to be talked about later. But I've been doing a lot of that. Hanging out. We had a guest in the Northeast. A couple. One of which you'll see on stream tomorrow, which is CJ Playmaker is going to be joining me to play some Overwatch and as well talk about the Mario Kart League that's been lighting Insane Games TV aflame. I know Dan is hyped to be a part of it, and I know Steve is hyped about that as well. I'm very excited to be returning. And here's hoping I place top 10 again, because that's what I'm shooting for. We also had
How many people are in the league? Like 8? You got this, Dave. I believe in you.
There's CJ, how many people are? There's 10 at the moment.
Okay, I believe in you.
I believe in me too. But we also had an import of the Canadian variety. We had Twitch.tv's own Sustaina. He featured last week on the Weekend Wednesday, sped run the entirety of the first Spyro game in less than an hour, which was awesome. And it was a lot of fun to have him on, and we've been hanging out and showing him kind of the local area and things like that.
Yeah, it was and I know I thanked him again, but it was cool. Like, he reached out to me, so I was able to hang out with everyone last night, because I just didn't get the chance to over the weekend. So, but yeah, it was a great time.
It was a lot of fun. Boner and I spend a lot of time together here on the Nerd Glasses. We don't see each other predominantly outside of here because I work every day.
The last time we had hung out outside of this premises was January, and you might remember on Nerd Glasses when I told Dave, "You're coming to my place and we're watching Dune on your PS5 and my new 4K television." I didn't give him a choice. I said, "You're doing it," and that was the last time.
By the way, if you haven't seen Dune, go watch it. Seriously, it's very good.
That was a moist.
Welcome, more like rigor mortis, and thank you for the 26th month in
Hey,
a row
thank you so much.
of sub.
Boner, what have you been playing? What's keeping you busy?
So, I finished split second on the Citadel last week. That was kind of fun. Had someone coming in the last couple races who was watching, and then like, "Do you play multiplayer?" I was like, generally not. "Are you on Xbox?" Hop on. And I got in a lobby with him, and he's been playing nonstop for the past 12 years since the game has been out, and me, not so much. So he was sandbagging and taking down everyone else trying to let me win. I biffed it really hard and couldn't win a single race anyway.
Oh, no.
Aside from that, on Sunday, at the request of Taco Pill, I started playing Lego Star Wars 2 on
Which was so much fun to watch.
The problem was, and I don't know if it's because I was close enough to the TV or what, I started to get motion sick a couple times. When the camera, like, whips around a corner, the camera in the game is weird. Like, you don't really control the direction. It points you wherever it wants to. And it started to just really throw me off. I could tell I was starting to feel sick from it.
Do you notice that the Star Wars games have a lot of, like, just triggering motion sickness things.
And I wanted to talk about this, like, what games do that for you, and like, have you noticed it more recently? Like, because the first game that I noticed I got motion sick on, I was playing The Witness, which is a puzzle game that's done from first person.
Okay.
And it's something where you kind of like draw a maze around dots, whatever, but it aligns with the environment. So I was inside a tight area, looking around all over the place, trying to figure out something in the environment. And being in a tight area and moving around quickly, it was the first time I ever got motion sick in a game. I didn't know what was happening. I thought I'd had spoiled milk. I thought that, like, something hit my digestive system and it was about to empty itself one way or the other. And immediately stopped whatever stream I was doing, and because I was feeling that bad.
Chat, you guys let us know what games have made you motion sick, but I know for me it was Keep Talking and No One Explodes. That one, for some reason,
really?
like very much, I've realized every time after we've played it, I am really dizzy, and like
That's really
things
odd.
like that. But not Beat Saber, which should because it is a motion game and things like that.
The thing
but
with Keep Talking and No One Explodes is that you don't move at all. Like, I get motion sick when the screen is moving around and my vision is saying you're moving, when my ear says actually you're not.
Yeah.
Like, it happened playing
Faz VR did do me,
Yep.
Alec, and Sustaina in
Elite Dangerous. The one time I played that in VR, I was fine with pitch, I was fine with yaw, I was fine with forward and backward. The second that I rolled, I said, nope. Nope.
Really? Ah.
No, like, and it would have been so awesome to do, like, VR Spaceship. And I did it. It's like, for a half an hour, I did this. And it was like, anytime that I rolled, my ear said no. Everything else, I could manage. Probably because, like, playing first-person shooters and stuff, I'm used to a simulated up, down, left, right, forward, backward. But rolling isn't nearly as bad.
So...
Yeah, let's get some of the answers in here, because I do have a couple more that I wanted to mention.
CJ Playbaker has DK64, one specific level in Shadow the Hedgehog, Doom Eternal, Destiny 2, the Star Wars game that we played a couple of years ago.
Rogue Squadron.
Rogue Squadrons, as well as
Squadrons, not Rogue Squadron.
The one with Cal.
Fallen Order.
Yes.
Really?
Didn't bother me.
Okay.
Squadron's badly
Those ones, I know the first time we played Overwatch, Vladdy almost hurled, which was really funny. Because I definitely didn't yell at him to keep watching.
Too, I feel like games with simulated motion blur do it, or it's or like a 60 FPS game is going to do it to me a lot more than a 30 FPS game. So, and I don't know if it's because, I'm getting older and maybe I'm more prone to motion sickness than I was, or if it's a more smoothly moving camera, as long as I'm not in VR, is maybe going to do it more.
It's
more
those
often.
kids today and their damn games.
Like Fallen Order didn't get me, but actually, yonder and ago when we were playing Prey for YouTube, one of the times that you were playing and you were looking all over the place, I could tell mid-episode, I all of a sudden went, oh no. And I haven't edited that episode yet. Literally recorded 2.5 years ago because we stopped playing and haven't been able to, since COVID, get together to keep recording more. I've never had motion sickness, so I'm even surprised stuff like Echo VR doesn't mess me up. Yeah, like any VR game where the point of view is moving while I'm sitting still, I worry about.
Yeah.
Like Walkabout Mini Golf in VR, I use the jump to point, because if I start doing the motion thing, I don't get motion sick, but I'm about to fall over because I don't have the VR legs for that. Demon Dragon says most first-person games make her queasy.
Dudicarus Resident Evil 7 did for me too.
With Demon Dragon, we went to see Hardcore Henry, a movie that's filmed all from first person, and we heard one of the tips of sit near the edge of the theater rather than in the middle, because if you start to feel it, unfocus from the screen for a moment, ground yourself on the wall. And that's a thing too. I think part of the reason Lego Star Wars got to me, and when I've been able to play it fine in the past, is that I was seated a lot closer to a larger screen than I've ever played it on before. It was taking up a lot more of my field of view. And that might be a thing too when I'm playing like a PC game where it's my 27-inch screen right in front of me.
Yeah.
It's a lot of my field of view. I noticed I actually got better with Lego Star Wars, and it might just be that the moment the area wasn't as bad. But I was like, I backed up. I took my microphone with me because I have the extendable boom arm. It's wonderful. I backed up and I said, I'm going to play from back here instead, and we'll see how this goes. And I think it worked a lot better.
More like Rick Mortis saying, one of the Star Wars Battlefront games, my roommate was playing and spun the camera around and continuously until my other roommate firmly but nervously told him to stop doing that.
Yeah.
CJ Playmaker motion blur hurts. Weren't for the Gravitron at the fair, I would be fine.
I played a VR game where you had to jump down through a hole, and it was weird seeing fall but not feeling. Yeah, that's what I get more in VR. Again, I mentioned the mini golf thing of like when I move forward, and the motion rocks forward while I'm standing still, and basically I think that my body tries to counteract it, and so I worry about falling.
Yeah.
So like if I do that, I need to like legs wide, sumo stance. Here we go.
So you crab walk.
I mean, I crab stand in one spot while the... Yeah, so it's... I've been playing Lego Star Wars 2, but I kind of wanted to talk about that idea of game motion sickness, because with bigger screens, with smoother frame rates, with motion blur helping to make it more realistic, all these things that make it look more realistic are better at fooling your eye into saying we're moving, when your ear still firmly knows that it isn't. Side note, that's why I really loved the couple of times that I was on a roller coaster that had a VR headset, a VR thing built into it. That was amazing. They did that at Six Flags in Lake George for like a season.
So to actually have the motion along with the visuals.
Yeah, so like when you're in a fighter jet that does a loop-de-loop around a bridge, you are on the Screaming Demon doing the loop.
That's cool.
That was amazing. That was like, I think, my earliest experience with VR, after which I was like, I need this.
Hell yes.
Awesome. As far as watching goes, that was playing, watching, nothing new. Steph is recovering from having her wisdom teeth out, so everyone, please give your well wishes for recovery.
Yeah.
But she binged Voltron. She napped through some of it, but she started watching it Friday night and finished it Sunday night.
Very
All
cool.
7 seasons or so.
Very nice.
Even if you're sleeping through half of it, that's still a good speed run of the series of like, yes, this part.
At least in like episodic shows, they're not like, they don't typically introduce a character in like 1 5-minute span and then no one talks about them for the rest of the time, but there they are in the background or things like that. It's like, wisdom teeth surgery is great for binging, so it's more like rigor mortis.
Being
Very
in a
nice.
still state is a strange thing in VR with lower FPS that of a lot of the more common headsets. True, like it's the inverse with VR. You are immediately going to get sick if your frame rate tanks.
Yeah. Oh god, yes.
Like watching the commentary for Half-Life VR, but the AI is self-aware. He would mention that like, Scorpy tried to do this particular thing with his character, but the frame rate dropped and I hurled. As soon as I got into this one thing that they threw me through, immediate. Like, he clearly has VR legs. He did the whole thing in VR, walking around in motion, whatever. But there was still a few things that he was like, absolutely not. And stuttering low frame rate was one of them.
Demon Dragon, I feel way better than I did a few days ago. Hell yes.
All right, so
I've got some cool things that have happened recently, and I did want to start the stream off with those.
Do you want to hear a lame thing that happened recently? Was I could do a Web3 roundup thing and get that out of the way? NFT /
Fine, we'll talk about the Richie Richers and their throwing away of their mini.
It's a really quick thing to continue to point out how much of a scumbag Martin Shkreli is.
Quickly, Boater, to the crypto card!
So, a week or two ago, we mentioned Martin Shkreli, Pharma Bro, who, just got out of federal prison for money crimes, finance crimes, and also isn't allowed near pharmaceutical companies. So he decided to do a crypto scam also involving the pharmaceutical business. Well, instead of carrying through with that and seeing how various regulators came down on him, he instead did a rug pull. Basically, he lost all of the coin that he had invested into this project, and then meanwhile, someone tweeted like, bro, if they hacked you and stole all your worth of that, Why are you funding this wallet? It's you. Shut up. The coin that was invested in that lost 90% of its value, and he earned 239 Ethereum, which is the equivalent of almost $500,000. So there isn't a happy ending to this one yet, but it's also just like anyone investing in anything crypto, anything investing in anything that Shkreli does, you're an idiot and you deserve the rug pulled out from under you.
I was going to say, this sounds an awful lot like problems taking care of themselves. Stupid people throwing money away at something and then, oh no, I've thrown my money in a fire. How did this happen?
Just give us the money. Please. Taco Pill says if they have the free money, let me know. Like, come on.
Not the crypto CJ Playmaker.
Okay, that's out of the way. Dave, make us happy.
I've had some really cool things transpire lately. I know Boder's usually the brainoid of the two of us and talks about books and reading, and because he doesn't have difficulties with such things.
I've been reading Starship Titanic, which is not by Douglas Adams. It is by Terry Jones and was written while he was nude.
I don't want to talk about my book anymore now. It's fine. We'll just
No,
move
please.
on. So when I was in high school, Dan Abnett did a re-release of a famous franchise he had written called The Gaunt's Ghosts. It's a science fiction military book series that now has 15 installments.
Nice.
Well, in reading it in high school, I got straight up until probably book 7, and then my favorite character died. And I was
Spoilers!
not happy. I was not happy at all. And so I was really stoked that yesterday when I was in my local bookshop that I saw this, and I was like, oh, that's definitely Dan Abnett's writing. It's Gaunt's ghost symbol, and that's
Okay.
definitely Gaunt himself. And
Is
as
it
it
a
turns out,
re-release?
it is new stories about the in-between the bigger events of the books that happened.
Okay.
Because the book series did talk about, we just got off of this mission. Nothing really important happened except for some or no one important died, so we didn't really go into the dossiers about it.
Yeah.
I am very excited to be looking at this. Black Library has been doing a new thing where their new releases are all hardcovers, which I don't necessarily like for travelability.
Fair.
Because they used to all just be soft cover, science fiction books that were like
Mass markets.
able to be carried in my back pocket to things. But I'm really looking forward to catching up with my friends in the Gaunt's Ghosts, and my favorite character being alive again because he can't be dead yet.
See, I really like hardcovers like that it's printed on the cover itself. Like, don't get me wrong, I like a hardcover with the jacket, whatever, that's larger than that even. But like that is a portable hardcover.
I mean, it is.
Not as much as a mass market. I agree, but still.
So the Vincula Insurgency. Really looking forward to giving this a read over.
This is all Warhammer 40K, by the way. I don't think he specified that.
I said Black Library though.
Okay, well, for those that don't know Warhammer 40K.
'Tis true. Science fiction, you can jump in at any point. They do all the novels.
There's so many 40K books.
Yes, and the world is well established.
There's
Well
at least 39,000 of them.
Steve giving a thumbs down. So I did have something else cool happen, which was that a friend of mine gave me a very important gift. This beautiful guitar is now in my possession. It has a bit of a history. This guitar has played in every single one of my stand-up performances since 2000 and... The produced shows that I did since 2012.
Okay.
2011. So he was going to be selling it to get rid of it, and I was really excited to have it. If you guys know, play a lot of ukulele on stream. Steve's usually the guitar guy, but
just as well we went to the other mic, Steve.
So this needs to get new strings and everything and set up. But you will be hearing me play this on stream more often.
Fantastic.
And I'm very much looking forward to Jimmy jamming on it. Jimmy jamming on things like that. Or just doing my usual Weekend Wednesday thing where I go, ah! And everybody tunes out, and then they go, wow, Dave, that was a really good stream. And I'm like, oh, thanks so much.
Well, Dave, that was a really good scream.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I hope you are able to visit the store, and I really hope you are able to keep joining us here on our streams on the network here on Insane Games TV. Welcome to the Nerd Glasses if you aren't aware of the program.
And welcome fellows in the raid.
Welcome Raiders from Akai 1988. Definitely check out Akai, classic gaming at its best, and current titles. Akai's a fantastic streamer and a personal friend of ours. This
would be interesting to see happen. I have an interesting news story, Dave. And we're going to lead into this in a roundabout fashion. Are you familiar with Right to Repair?
Yes, I am.
So Right to Repair is basically, there are these companies that want to keep themselves being the ones to service everything so that you don't have, you can only go to them to get it serviced. Like, what are some companies that you think of when you hear of Right to Repair? Like Apple, I think is getting better about it, but they're a big one at one point.
Microsoft, I know Nintendo has had some contentions with it.
Yeah.
Ford, many of the different car companies. Zenith, I know, had a bunch of issues with it. Atari was a little bit before the Right to Repair was really a thing, but they did have some issues with the fact that their parts were obscura and things like that.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, well, if I want to fix it myself, this should be just a $25 part, but instead I need to go to you, pay $50 an hour plus $25 for a consultation plus $50 for your part plus $50 for the labor.
Yeah.
A really big name that stands in the way of Right to Repair is John Deere, and like tractors, farm equipment, etc. There isn't a OBD2 port like there is on cars on the road to just get diagnostic stuff. You got to go to a John Deere service center to get it all taken care of. And so there's efforts to, for lack of a better term, to jailbreak the computers on John Deere tractors. And how better to show that you can have root access to a computer than to play Doom on it.
Yes! Yes! The standard for it's definitely your possession and no one else's is installing Doom on things.
There is a modded version of Doom running on a John Deere tractor's computer I forget the name of it, but it's one of these kind of like hacking collective shows or conventions that that just people share the hacks they've been working on and the advancements they try to make.
That's the only thing they fear is your refrigerator and your tractor, says CJ.
God.
I'm really excited to hear that Doom is continually going to live on in our hearts and minds.
Yeah, like 15 years ago, there was any machine, any computer, any particular part upgrade, it was, but can it play Crysis? And now, literally any piece of hardware is, can you run Doom on it? For God's sake, people have gotten it running on a pregnancy test. Congratulations, it's a demon.
Congratulations, it's a high score.
It was figuratively and literally eternal. It will be. Like, cockroaches will be running Doom on the sun after the apocalypse.
Yes. Yes, we should. And yes, we shall. Speaking of yes and things that are awesome, our good friends at the Pokemon Company recently announced an initiative. It's been, Boater, brace yourselves.
1 week since you looked at me, threw your arms to the sides, and sorry. You can't just say it's been and then pause.
I'm really glad, though. It has been, Boater, brace yourself once again. It has been 25 years since the release of Red and Blue.
Okay.
They announced that they made a company called Pokemon Company International that is pledging $25 million minimum over the next 5 years to be donated to dedicated organizations whose goals are improving the lives of children and supporting social equality. That's the Pokemon Company taking their millions and millions of dollars.
Isn't Pokemon the largest franchise in the world? Like the
If
largest
it's
earning franchise
not,
in the world?
it's indefinitely like
I
top
feel like
three.
that was one of like the trivia things that you pulled on me. It's not Marvel, it's not Star Wars, it's Pokemon.
It's if it's not Mickey Mouse, like
Yeah.
Like I really feel like Pokemon is, but that's them taking the money and especially the hype based around the next Pokemon game that's coming out.
If the composer can make the Doom score off the lawnmower, then the lawnmower should also be able to run Doom.
Yes. But very much looking forward to the new Pokemon game. Have you seen any trailers for it or things like that?
No, I don't think so.
All right, I'm going to tell you there's something that people have been really pissed about on the internet about, which is that the two cover beasts Pokemon, as they are both motorcycles. Or at least they roll like motorcycles, except that one of them rolls because it has wheels, and the other one has wheels and still runs, even though it has tires. And I am so excited.
It's fine. It's just tired.
That as the two copies that Steve and I have decided we're going to be getting together, I got the one where the mythological beast is the one that has wheels and yet very much in style of my life chooses to run anyway. And I really hope that Pokemon, anytime I choose to run or surf, is just going like some sort of bad Pokemon speed buggy. That's really what I want out of this.
Taco Hill confirms that Pokemon is on the top of the list of highest grossing media franchises.
Yes!
And is it Dokio? Dokio? I'm not sure how to pronounce your screen name. I apologize. Yes, I'm pretty sure the Samsung smart fridges have been running Doom for a while now.
Yes.
Yes.
No, yeah, all the smart fridges are able to have Doom on them. I am sad that companies like Best Buy have prevented people from putting it on the display ones, because if there's nothing else I would like to do with my free time, it's go to a big box store and play Doom on a fridge.
I mean, like, I miss being able to go to, I'm going to date myself, Media Play, and being able to play, like, the console that was on display and try out, Crazy Taxi on the Dreamcast and be like, play the demo of that. I can't do that at Best Buy anymore, so, cowards, let me install Doom and play that on your fridge.
I know I don't speak for the company under any letter of any ledger of any law, but boy howdy, what a feature we are not bringing back to this store, because nothing but bad things happen when you give people a free controller to sit in front of.
Yeah, a previous one that I had, we inherited an old Xbox display stand, so we were able to do that, and that worked okay. That was also in the era of most controllers were still wired. It was just as stuff was starting to go wireless.
Yep.
So we were able to hook up a wired controller to it and lock it into place.
Yeah, we had people laying flat-backed on the floor playing with the wired controller. In the middle of the aisles where customers are trying to shop. Good times. Good times.
Dave, you brought things that should concern me. Should
I
I wait?
did. And nope, you've mentioned them and now we're going to bring them up.
So there are two bags that I have seen, and then literally 1 minute to showtime, as we were like, oh no, the audio isn't working, he also said, oh, don't let me forget this too, and had something hidden in a different bag.
It was this hidden in the other bag.
Oh, okay. I was worried. It's not something I have to ingest.
No, God, no. No, you have to suffer through these babies. I was at... Oh, Dokio, yes! The Doom 3 Deluxe Edition case that continues to come back to the different stores that I work for. I shit you not. And Steve, do you remember the one that was on the Xbox section?
Is it not still there?
No, I think somebody bought it.
I'm gonna check.
Pretty sure someone bought it. I'm pretty sure it's back out in the wilds and I don't have to see it anymore.
I'm checking.
So, secret level unlocked, says Akai. Chocolate Pill. Oh, these are the Dorito flavored Lays. Well, spoiler. These are by the request.
May I read that one?
These are the request of Vladdy himself.
This particular one, and I saw this read on a TikTok, and I just love reading all the way through it. Limited time flavor, Lay's wavy Funyun onions flavored Funyuns onion flavored rings. Flavored Lay's. Funyuns Lay's!
No, Taco Bell, I'm very glad that you knew what these were ahead of time because they literally, I had a small brain aneurysm looking at these in the grocery store. Because these ones, even more magically disappointing, are Lay's potato chips Doritos Cool Ranch flavored.
I don't know how Cool Ranch is going to taste on a potato chip and not a corn chip.
Like,
I'm prepared to be disappointed. Dolfio says I was a friend of the one who bought it, and will let us know if it is returned again.
make sure you return it to Insane Games if you are going to rid yourselves of it.
So this one will be interesting. I've never had Funyuns, so this as a flavor is just going to be
really
like...
never had Funyuns?
I've never had Funyuns. I apparently have
And
higher
you call
standards
yourself
than
a
snacks.
higher standards. You have terrible snack standards. That if you never had Funyuns on a Saturday evening with Mountain Dews.
That's
Would either
just
of you guys
ranch
like
chips.
some chips?
Yes.
Studio audience.
Not those ones.
Well, no, too bad. We're starting with those ones, and then we're moving on to the others. Although I will say, these being wavy, I am more interested in than the regular old flat Cool Ranch ones. I don't know, something about...
Spoiler alert, people. If you're in the studio audience and we have snacks, you get to try the snacks.
Wavy chips hit better. I don't know.
For worse or for worse. We never have good snacks.
I got one of those as soon as I saw it when I was food shopping on Monday. All right, Funyuns ones first. Bank.
So, so this is a less oniony Funyun.
That is a chip. That is a... Yeah, that is very...
It's a chip that has Funyun flavor.
As
Sour
someone...
cream and onion.
Yeah, I was going to say, as someone that hasn't had Funyuns, that is a slightly less sour cream and onion.
Yep. So just imagine more of the onion taste and less of the potato.
Huh.
And also that it's in sort of a Cheeto poof sort of texture.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Those of you watching at home. There you go. There you go. There's your ASMR.
All right, next.
Our next one is the one that...
The ones that I'm actually interested to try out, these... Not wavy, so we'll see.
I'm just more disappointed by these.
That is... Well, that... Hold up. That doesn't smell like Cool Ranch. That smells like more onion.
It might be in your mind nose now. So I'm
That's
disappointed
just
about
Aaron
these ones
Hansen yelling, more onion, please.
because these kind of scream to me the whole joke of salt's too spicy. Like Doritos flavored potato chips, because when the original Doritos are too spicy for you.
Ooh. That takes a second to kick in.
I don't hate them.
Basically, the toned down version of the Cool Ranch.
Yeah, so basically,
Here's the thing, is that at the start, it's a potato chip. And then, as it dissolves in your mouth as potato chips do, the Cool Ranch flavor then goes around and says, oh yes, my beloved Cool Ranch. It doesn't have the texture of a Doritos corn chip, so marks against it, but the flavor is there. 7 out of 10.
it's a flavor as advertised, but
Oh my god. I prefer these.
so I'll leave
Mostly
these.
because they're wavy.
Steve, I'll leave these in the studio for us to eat. I mean, they're open now, so it's not like I can.
You can't put it back.
Makes me want the Doritos Locos Taco Cool Ranch back. It does. It does. Man, now I want Taco Bell. This is awful.
I had Taco Bell the other night. Steph doesn't like Taco Bell, so while she was on soft food for recovery, I was like, cool, I'll get Taco Bell on the way home.
Very
Which,
nice.
to be fair, I got a bean burrito. That is also soft food.
Bland. Just bland. Blandness all around.
I put Diablo sauce on it. I also
All
got
right.
soft tacos.
There you go.
All right. Get those out of my reach. Meh.
Coming later this week, the Tokyo Game Show 2022. I know what you're thinking to yourself. I don't live in Tokyo. It doesn't matter because it's going to be a VR enhanced convention.
Okay.
Featuring the likes of Capcom, Koei Tecmo, our good friends at Kojima Productions, Sega, Bandai Namco, Magic the Gathering, listed separately from Wizards of the Coast, just as Magic the Gathering, and a
Interesting.
whole host of other companies. Coming out later this week. The app for it, which you can download to your VR headsets, will be available at day of convention. And really,
So how does that work? Like, is it going to be like during the panels and stuff? They just have a stationary camera somewhere so that you can feel like you're there.
I think so.
That's cool.
I know this is another way of them trying to safely have conventions without having thousands of people. Mm-hmm. But
they have a whole bunch of cardboard-looking cutouts around where your camera is, so that you feel like you're in a baseball stadium circa late 2020.
The best of times. Zach Greinke was so happy with that. He could sit wherever he wanted in the stadium and people wouldn't ask him for things. But I'm really looking forward to that later this week. Hopefully we'll get Steve on the job for it to tell us about things that were announced there. We'll have to.
a VR.
I might have to check it out. We'll see.
Border will have to check it out then. Border will be on assignment.
Will there be the ability to watch the broadcasts later, or is it only live?
I'm sure they did not specify if there's alternative viewing because they really wanted people to get in with the gimmick. But
fly.
That's totally all right. I get excited about the idea of Kojima Productions and being out and about in public as well. Hopefully, we'll hear more about their upcoming projects.
Okay.
And they're using the tagline "Unearth the Future." It'll be very, very interesting that they're theming it around this whole idea and having a bunch of different groups and companies. Unfortunately, I dug...
So when is that? So that is...
The 16th and the... the 18th and the 19th.
17th and 18th.
17th and 18th. Thank you,
Okay,
Steve.
what days are okay, so that is tomorrow and the day after.
Yes.
Okay.
September.
Oh, September. Okay. Better.
Looking like it's going to be a lot of fun. Looking like it's going to be a great time. Speaking of time, on August 11th, a good friend of this program, Hiroyuki Kobayashi, turned 50. Happy birthday, sir!
Yay.
Many congratulations and much love to you. They also announced that they were retiring from Capcom after more than 20 years of service. They were a programmer on Resident Evil 1, and they had worked on many, many, many franchises with Capcom. They were joining NetEase as a producer, a game studio that made a lot of mobile games. Like a lot of mobile games. The Middle-earth mobile game.
I'm familiar with
things.
NetEase, as you can tell from my immediate grimace.
Yes. I am really...
So they left Capcom and went to NetEase? Or
Yes.
they... Okay, interesting.
Yes.
I assumed that they were going to make an independent studio and that we would be seeing something similar to some of the things that they worked on at Capcom coming out for kickstarting in about a year or so.
We could only hope. We could really only hope to get Dino Crisis back in our era. But leaving the company kind of leaves an interesting absence in for Capcom, but also makes for a very interesting future for Capcom itself to have these new wave of executives and higher up people that have now been, instead of the people that remember when Capcom was pennies on the dollar and scrimping and saving and hopefully these games work.
Yeah.
Now you're getting people that are going to be executives of the Capcom of the eras where, hey, we have all these big names and sometimes we've messed them up and let's learn from that. Like,
Yeah, it's interesting because like Capcom hasn't gone full Konami. They haven't just decided to stop making, video games. But like they still, I feel like their profile has like kind of come down a little bit recently. They haven't done as much. I could be completely off base.
I think
I haven't been as aware of Capcom as I was, say, 10 years ago.
I will say Capcom, well, that says something. It should speak to you as somebody that is involved with games and does still play, but on certain franchises, they have indefinitely begun to focus a lot on their own franchises. Mm-hmm. Monster Hunter, Resident Evil,
That's true.
Street Fighter, things like that. They are not really as
they're playing it safe, but at least they are still doing stuff with the old franchises.
Yes.
Again, shade at you, Konami.
And I'm really excited to hear that Square Enix is going to be there, hopefully selling more of their franchises off. or perhaps trying to shill some NFTs. That'll be really cool to see them.
Hey, Square Enix, can I get a handout of Crystal Dynamics? Cool, thank you.
Yeah. Yes. Overwatch 2 is coming.
Yep.
I'm really stoked about it. Although we talked about the fact that we're not getting another beta, which, boo, give me another beta. Let me play Overwatch 2 before October. They are announcing that, yes, Overwatch 2 is officially going to replace Overwatch.
Okay.
So as of today, you can merge your accounts together.
Okay.
So that they are ready for the transfer to Overwatch 2. The hink with all of this is you can pick one profile.
Nope, you can use them all.
One profile per system, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I thought you meant like one console, one.
No.
Okay, I thought that's
No.
what we were discussing.
No, but thank you, Steve. No, one account per... So if you have Smurf accounts and you unlocked a lot of things, well, you need to make sure that's the one you want to merge with, say, your one PlayStation account and your one PC account together to make your one Overwatch profile.
Okay, I mean that makes sense to me. It's one profile. It's a little odd that you would have multiples, but yeah, that's Smurf accounts.
It is odd you would have Smurf accounts, isn't it?
So that makes sense. I mean, like, and there's nothing preventing you from making new Smurf accounts and so forth for Overwatch 2. But they're just doing some house cleaning and being like, yeah, all these just consolidate a bit. It's fine.
Them skins, those league points, as Steve and I have been accruing them and hoarding them away for better promotional skins and things like that. I'm really looking forward to duking it out and seeing how much comes from that.
Yeah. We got time for one or two more, good sir.
All right. Well, you know what? Then I have time for one very long story that I have.
Oh, hooray. Lay it on me.
I'm very disappointed in you people. Last week, that menace,
Oh my god.
that absolute villain, that murderer was released onto PC. And you all couldn't just leave well enough alone and let Spider-Man just die already. You had to go in and you had to play with the game and interact with it and make it fun. Meh, 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 meh. So, some brave reporters out there have deigned to stick it out and look into the Spider-Man games, risking their life and health in interacting with such a ruffian character. But modders, myself and Steve were looking at, and I was horrified to find, were already modding the game where you could have multiple Spider-Men, or the creator Stan Lee as the main character. You could also
it's interesting you mentioned the multiplayer modding thing, in that it appears through data mining that was originally going to be a part of the original game. And then it's something that has been unlocked through mods, but it's not like from the ground up in there.
Yes, I'm very glad to hear that they decided not to further promote the murderous Spider-Man by having online multiplayer modes.
Spider is not murder.
Spider is murder, and you can see me on Tickety Talks talking about that. But they found out that there was a scrapped multiplayer. Modders had added all sorts of villains and characters, and our hero, J. Jonah Jameson, as well, saving people, doing what was best for our people around us.
So is J. Jonah Jameson being a menace?
No, of course not. How can he be a menace? He is a savior to our modern society. Boater, please, don't get... I know you get excited, but don't get confused.
Spider is friend.
However,
Spider is friend.
No, he is not. He's a murderer, and I hate him. Ask Police Chief Kelly about what he thinks about Spider-Man. Oh, that's right. He's dead! And Spider-Man did nothing to help him from dying in multiple universes. But they did find out through further data mining that not only was there a scrap multiplayer, but there's also potentially a Sony game launcher coming to PC.
Yes.
Which would be interesting. and could be a sign that they are maybe perhaps gonna perchance, put their games on PC like less than 2 years before they come out on the console.
Spider is murderous. Does what murder spider does. There. I made it singable.
Thank you very much, more like rigor mortis. And if you are ever watching that dastardly villain from Geek for All, Joe, playing Spider-Man on the Weekend Wednesday or other programs, you can just join in the classic chant of, Spider is murder! Spider is murder! Spider is murder! And we just do that throughout the duration. It's a great time.
Spider is friend.
No, he's not. No, he's a murderer. Don't we get the boom whackers? Because last time we were playing, he blew up a bridge and killed thousands. It was awful. Spurderer is murder. I'll take it. I'll take all of it. But it would be very interesting, and I really do hope that Sony especially kind of gets with the whole PC ports things, because my God, it's been on consoles for well over 2 years, and now PC players are just getting it.
Yeah.
And that was the same for so many of the other titles. Death Stranding took over a year to come to PC.
God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn.
These Sony exclusives, Sony really doesn't have much in the way of the PC market, so they have to either outsource the work. They do have an in-house company that they work with to do the porting, but they are not yet necessarily a Sony subsidiary.
Right.
And so I'm really hoping this does show that PC gaming will have a more readily accessible gateway to the PlayStation titles.
Oh no, you've heard the PC version is super buggy. What a shock. I'm not surprised at all.
Did any of you guys hear about the PC port of Batman, the Arkham Origins? Batman Arkham Origins?
I remember something buggy about it. Something really bad about it. I forget exactly what it was.
Unplayable. And I mean, not like, oh, this is incorrect, I can't stand this. No, unplayable. So bad, in fact, that literally they just went, well, we're giving everyone refunds during this window.
I do remember
they
that.
Just threw that shit out. If it's Cyberpunk level buggy, I'll buy it.
It's interesting in that, Cyberpunk has had a good year in, getting back up to snuff. I probably going to have it on, my Christmas list this year, because at this point now it'll be at the point where also I have a Series X, so I'll be playing it like that. But, I don't think they wanted to put the work into Arkham. Was it Arkham City? Arkham Origins.
Arkham Origins.
I don't think they wanted to put in that work. I think they were like, oh, I don't know how we shipped that. We were on a lot. My bad. How would we need to fix that? Oh, honey, you can't afford the drugs for us to fix that. Just give them refunds.
Give them refunds. Pull it from the store. Our brave viewer here bought Cyberpunk for the PS4 Slim because they knew it would run terribly.
Wow.
I will not lie, and I will not lie, by the way, if you like games that get very interesting reviews, sometimes lambasted, sometimes just things, you should stick around after this program for the Citadel featuring Boater, where you're going to be playing...
I'm going to be playing Astral Chain, which was generally well received, but we've definitely had a few nits to pick with it as we play. Looking at games that... we are critical of the games as we play them, what's making them work, what's not so much. So, it's fun. It's going to be Astral Chain on the Nintendo Switch, so I hope to... for you to stick around for that. Not Vroom Vroom Beep Beep. Nope, I finished that last week, and you missed me talking about it, but it was a fun time. It was a good time. But yep, we're back to Astral Chain for the beat 'em up / flashy. So, and I think that is our time for Nerd Glasses. So, if this is your first time being here through the transition, of course we say good night, and we move over. We go offline for about 5 minutes while we move the desk 6 feet that way, and then about a 10-minute countdown, and I'll see you on the other side. But for all of you out there, Demon Dragon recovering from the wisdom teeth coming out, and just everyone, thank you for watching. It means a lot to us to have you here. It's yeah, we love having you here. You are important. We love all of you, and you're generally better at this kind of message than I am. But
do you want me to do it?
Sure, Dave.
All right.
we had a request for affirmations, and we're always happy to provide. But yes,
It's like it was themed this way because I have the microphone so we can lean in and you can see Boder in frame as well. Things have been tough lately. You've been standing up to the heat. You've been doing everything you need to do, and you've been doing great. We're so proud of you. You've been kicking ass, taking names, and you can keep doing it. And you will. Times that are bad and tough are just that. Times. And they will come and they will go. You are more, and your story is more than just one bad experience, one bad month, one bad year. You've got this. I mean, for God's sakes, we need someone to tune into this program. Otherwise, it's just me and Boder yammering at a camera. All right? You are necessary. You are important. And most of all, you are loved.
and I got my affirmation with Taco Bell saying, "Good try, Boder."
No, I like your stuff as well, Boder. I do.
I'll make sure when I visit New York again to come back by the Eternal Doom 3. We look forward to it. We look forward to seeing you in the store. We always look forward to seeing all of you in chat. It's been a wonderful night. Thank you all so much for joining us on Nerd Glasses. I hope that some of you stick around for Citadel after this as we go offline for a few minutes and then come to the go to the countdown. You know, wipe the dust out of your eyes that got in there over the past couple minutes and join me, and I hope to see you. In the meantime, guys, this has been the Nerd Glasses podcast. From all of us here in the studio, with our live audience, with Steve as our producer, and from Boder
And Dave Mann.
thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week. Bye, everybody. Dave, you gotta hit a button.